Hello everyone and welcome to the next video in the entry of the War of the Visions tutorial series. I am Umberraze and I will be helping you through basically trying to understand War of the Visions, and today we are looking at battles, an incredibly important part of any game where you have to fight stuff, right? Anyway, so today we will be taking a look at battles as well as farming as well as auto. So let's get right into it and take a look at it. So we have loaded up this. We're going to be looking at some dailies today. And me personally, I am currently itching to just farm up. What character do I really want to upgrade today? I think it's going to be a dark character. Maybe I will go for a light element character because I'm feeling Thancred's going to show up eventually for me. So let's go right in here and let's go to a basic one, for example. Now, as you can see, we have our party currently set up. I will show more about the party about character setup in the following video, but for now, we're just looking at battles. So let's take a look at in a actual battle. Just gotta wait a tick while we get loaded in. All right, and here we are. So as you can see, we are currently in a battle. We actually have auto going right now. That is something that you can set up and you can potentially not set up. So for now, let's take it off for a second. Now on the left-hand side, you can see a turn counter. So as you can see here, Ayaka, followed by Stern, followed by Mashari are all characters who will be getting their turn. So let's take Ayaka, move her around. Now in the battles, you have two options for how you move your characters. You can click on a actual tab to get there, or by pressing down and holding, you can actually get kind of a analog stick. This is a good way to navigate. Sometimes when you are clicking, you will click on the wrong thing and you can accidentally potentially get a attack you do not want to happen, so it doesn't hurt to be a little careful. Now that we've moved our character, let's look at the bottom right hand corner of the screen here. Here we have three options. We have the first one, which is a physical attack. By clicking on the character, you can see a bunch of information pops up. Ayaka may do 67 points of damage to Ziza, but she's going to potentially do 306 back, so let's leave her alone for now. The second option is abilities, limit burst, as well as magic. So here, yellow coded abilities are basically healing or helpful or support abilities. For instance, like this one, this is Cure. The one below it is Isuna, and this one is a special spell that we'll talk about in a second. The red ones are limit burst. Now, not every character does have a limit burst. So far, it seems like a lot of UR characters are, and there are some TMRs that can actually unlock limit burst from my understanding. If I have that understanding wrong, please forgive me. Now, limit bursts use a lot of what are called ability points. You basically have two types of currency for your characters to spend to use abilities. You have tech points, such as that, as you can see, we have 75 tech points, and we also have ability points. Ability points are used for things like limit bursts. Not every character starts with enough ability points to just use their limit burst. And ability points are also used for offensive spells too. So for instance, if I use Ayaka's offensive spell, and yes, you heard me right, Ayaka has an offensive spell, she will potentially not have enough AP to use for her limit burst. So be careful about how you do this. There are abilities that generate the other kind for your characters, but there is also just a chance that you run out. There are also items that restore these, to my knowledge, and causing some physical attacks will generate some of the points you need. So by clicking on the spell, you can see a large grid of where you can attack. Clicking on this purple icon will execute the ability, and you have two options now. Left one will target the area below the enemy, not locking itself to an actual enemy. or the right side one will target the opponent and will follow the opponent. Now, of course, if you played Final Fantasy Tactics, you know that an enemy could be targeted with an AoE spell and then move towards you. If that's the case, then your own spell may end up hitting you and potentially killing. So now we are into the charging section. The last thing you will do for your character is choose a direction to face. If an enemy is to the left, right, or behind you, they will get an advantage to how much damage you are, so positioning is important. So let's click this way. Now you'll see that there is two icons here. This one is charging. This is when her spell will go off. Spells do have casting time and will take a certain amount of time. Now, terrain is also important. There are two, if you haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics, you may not know that there are two special types of movement. Well, I want to say currency so much, but that may not be the best term for it. There's two types of movement that you have to worry about. Of course, distance-wise as well as jump. Now, there are abilities you can get that will increase it. So, for instance, this territory here, the only reason that my character can actually move up there so easily is because he has a jump up ability, meaning that he has a ability to jump onto higher terrain a lot easier than other characters. That will put him in better position, but there you go. And to pick up a treasure chest, you just move over it and basically end your turn. There you go, picked it up. That's wonderful. Now, let's see, what else do we have that we have not talked about? We'll go over some of the icons now that we've talked a little bit about characters moving, using abilities, and whatnot. Now, if you want to take a look around, you have the ability by just clicking this map button on the bottom left-hand corner, and you can move around. By clicking it again, it will just snap you right back to whoever's turn it is. And this one will change height, as well as potentially give you a over-top view. This is great because there are some mountain stages where it can be hard to see what character is where. This just allows you to have a better view, and clicking it again will take you right back down. You'll also notice that we have a turning tool at the bottom here. Again, if you're having trouble clicking on a specific tile, use the turning tool to get a better view of what you're looking at. Alright, and over here, as you can see, we have a number of treasure chests currently. We have the auto button. By clicking this, the AI will take the wheel and perform the battle for you. This is dicey at best sometimes. There are times where the AI will potentially get your characters killed or do incredibly stupid things, but if you're not willing to play, I guess that's what you kind of settle for. And this button is the 1.5 times speed button. This speeds up the animation, so as you can see, everything in the game moves faster, even limit bursts. Limit bursts have a set animation in them that has voice work and everything, but if you have speed up, the limit burst animation will also speed up. So let's just move over here for a second, and let's just cast that spell. Or, hold on, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to do it. Let's see what the AI does. Why not? So we have the speed up. Let's click auto, but let's click auto for a very quick moment to show something. As you can see, the character, as soon as you click the auto button, it will perform the entire action for the character. It is already decided, meaning that you have to be careful when you take auto off. If something's going wrong, you should take auto off sooner rather than later, because the AI already has plans for your characters. But anyway, as mentioned in the previous video, by getting higher royal rank rewards, either by playing for a long time or by spending real life money, you can get a 2x speed increase. Currently, it's not really a time for impressions, but I'll say 1.5 is pretty nice anyway to have, given that this game moves pretty slowly as it is a strategy game. So let's hit this guy. As you can see, he's going to survive a little bit. And now we're going to get into that charging time where our spells will just cast and murder many, many, many things. As you can see, the AI chose a very close target that it could kill, but not necessarily the best target that it should have killed. Again, this is the way the AI works. Let's go over here real quick, and we'll just punch this thing to death. GG! Now, there is only one enemy left, and I guess we should talk about one of the other icons, which is currently this icon. This icon is the summon icon. It charges up over the fight. It is not based on how many attacks you do. Seems to be based on just how many turns you take. Many characters share, or all the characters share this, so you have to be careful when you use your summon. Summons will also cause effects on the field after they have came in and done their attacks. Each summon is obtained by getting specific cards in through gacha. For instance, if you get the Ifrit card, you unlock Ifrit. If you get the Behemoth card, you unlock Behemoth. Then you can equip it to a character, you can upgrade these outside of battle, and they will be stronger inside of battle. Each one has its own area of effect, and they are different, so basically you kind of just got to get used to your summon. Summons can be a little bit dangerous, but anyway. So let's quickly end this fight, just for this one. And she's dead. Quest clear. I assume it's a she. It's actually just an element. As you can see, we will get a summary of what we earned, as well as EXP and job points that we got from doing the mission. This one's pretty easy, so it didn't really get us that much, but that's fine. We can always do the harder one if we really wanted. So now we're going to look at a couple of things outside of battle. First of all, this. Before going into a mission, by clicking on the magnifying glass, you can see a whole bunch of information. You can see basically, if there are anything special about the mission. You can see the clear reward, as well as a whole bunch of completion rewards. For instance, this one is to do, I believe, a elemental chain of 2, which is a lot more difficult than it sounds. You can also see what is currently dropped in this mission too. This is really important if you are looking for specific items to farm. This is where you will always check. Always click that magnifying glass to make your life considerably easier. Here we can actually hire what is considered a mercenary, such as a friend unit. And I do believe this information is 100% accurate, which is that there is no cooldown on friend units. You can just click choose a friend and then go back in and choose that friend again. Now, here is an interesting button. This will put auto on from the beginning of the fight, which is rather important. If you are just farming, you can just kind of click and go. There is no multi-processing, auto farming currently. There are skip tickets, which do make it considerably faster, but skip tickets can only be used in story missions. Now, if we click into options, if the game will let me, the middle option takes you into options, and there is 2 things to really note here. These 2 ones right here. This first one will make your characters target chests. You do not have to have this option on, as it could be detrimental to your characters if they are autoing after chests, but this will basically, in a auto fight, your characters will target chests or items to pick up. This one will remove them from using any skills. If you would prefer that your characters only use attacks and not use skills, so that your characters don't, horribly die, then you can click this button on and your characters will not use any skills, but you basically always want to be running auto chest. As you can see, there we go. The character went straight for the chest. Hey, that only took Epic 7 and Dragalia Lost many, many months. So that's a pretty nice little quality of life right from the start. Smitten. Smitten. And now we'll see if anybody actually targeted that third one. Seems like the answer is no. Again, the AI is only so smart and will waste probably a lot more of your resources than you could want. It's not overly efficient, but it does just autoplay for you, and you can have it set up from the get-go. You can also combine auto with 1.5 times speed if you really want to farm something very quickly. Also, this is perfectly timed, as a matter of fact. Let's talk about characters. There are going to be characters that you're probably going to be in your party for a certain amount of time. The longer these characters interact in the same party, the higher their friendship will go up, which does give benefits in combat, which is important to just improve. Also, one other thing that I should say is that, excuse me, brain's going a little dead. In the side quests, currently you do not get rank EXP from doing side questy stuff. So again, we chose Leafa last time. Leafa's ready and available for second round. So let's load in. Quest start. Having a little bit of trouble there, probably just the emulator, but let's just click up the 1.5 times speed. Having a little bit of trouble here, just, whoops, I turned skills on, I turned the wrong one on. My bad. Oh, we're not going to pick up that item. We're going to be one space just because of a little bit of menuing issue. Oh well. Them's the breaks when you do it wrong. My bad for clicking the wrong one. But anyway, that basically takes you through the basics of battles. There's probably more that I could talk about battles, but this will give you a general introduction of how to play it. There are also some missions where you will have interactable missions or interactable objects on the screen, such as places where your character can step, stop, and take a turn, and it will interact with the map somehow. For instance, in a story mission, there was basically this giant wall separating me from my opponents, and the door was open, and a whole bunch of enemies could just rush in and do a lot of damage to me. But by stepping on a specific spot, it changed it, or it shut the doors and opened a further away door, so it gave me more time to prepare. So there are different elements to combat. Also, for instance, in the FF14 event, there are, and in the story as well, there are pure boss fights where it's just your team against one specific powerful enemy. And there are also other cool mechanics, like for instance in the FF14 event, where you can fight some of the a skeleton enemies, but if you kill the main skeleton for each element, then all the little elemental skeletons all die from Lonely Heart Syndrome. So there are some cool battle mechanics that are showing up already early in the game, and I can't wait to see what comes later. But anyway, that's all for this video on combat. I hope you have enjoyed this and found this helpful. If there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. And for the next one, we'll be taking a look at characters and friends. Two very important things that you will need to get much further in the game. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.